Yes, it's me. It's me. It's the MIC, Craig, aka Mr. Impact, and we are back. New year, new start, not brand new show, but brand new show of this year. Talking bloody nonsense, episode 4 already. Oh, pretty cool.
Four like the Horseman.
Yep. Oh no, Fortune 4.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
I'm sure most people wish it wasn't, but anywho, yeah, as you can see, I am joined, of course, by my wonderful co-host Nixon. How are we doing?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Did you have a good Christmas, Craig?
Yeah, good. Family drama, but all good. Went well. Christmas went well. New Year went well. So, and you?
Excellent. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I worked for New Year, as I always do, but it was fun. Very relaxed atmosphere. We usually would do this massive New Year party. The last couple of years, we haven't been able to do it, obviously. But it was, very subdued. Everyone had a good time. It was safe. Yeah, really good time.
That's great stuff. And obviously, also no lockdown. Yay! So can I continue with wrestling as it happens, even though Eric Young had to cancel his UK tour, which is unfortunate.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, some new COVID protocols. So,
yeah.
But he's back in March, I believe.
Okay, well, we'll see what protocols are in place then, shall we?
Yes, very true. All right, so without any further ado, let's get this show started. We're going to kick off with our main headline, and it is a pretty big headline and a good headline to see in places for sure. Anyway, we start off with the announcements of Jonathan Gresham coming in at Hard to Kill to defend his Ring of Honor World Championship, and as well as a few other little drops of interesting. That's what I'm looking for. A few little teasers on by Georgia Iceman on BTI that more Ring of Honor superstars will be coming in. Of course, Deonna Purrazzo will face Roxy for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship the week after Hard to Kill. It's even better. Tommy Dreamer is now back in the fold of Impact Wrestling. Not sure what role he'll play, but on the opposite side of that, we've had Rohit Raju and Matt Striker are now no longer with Impact Wrestling, which is unfortunate because, especially Rohit, because he had such a great run last year. But yeah, let's get your thoughts and feelings on everyone coming in, coming out. Start off with the Ring of Honor side of stuff. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good free agents on the market at the moment, courtesy of the Ring of Honor situation. But I mean, no one really knows what's happening with Ring of Honor. Are they relaunching in April as a company? Are they going to do standalone shows? I mean, they're owned by a TV company, so it's very hard to say at this point in time. So will all these free agents go back to Ring of Honor, even if they've signed with Impact or AEW? Well, I mean, time will tell on that. I'm sure we'll do an episode later down the line. But yeah, Jonathan Gresham defending the Ring of Honor World Title on an Impact pay-per-view. 15 years ago, we would never thought we'd be saying that. And Chris Sabin's the perfect opponent for him. They're going to steal the show. There's no doubt in my mind about it. I can't wait for that match. And then Gresham's got other defenses. I know with GCW and a lot of other places, Terminus.
Yeah. It's another Impact
it's exciting. I'd love for us to be able to add Jonathan Gresham to our roster. I don't think it will happen. I think he could go anywhere he wanted. And I'm glad to see him on Hard to Kill. For some reason, I can't see him signing with Impact Wrestling full term. I mean, who knows what could happen down the line. But, I mean, I try and follow wrestling news, rumors, and all that as much as I can. I don't really know who else is planning on coming in. Obviously, Roxy, the World Women's Champion, is going to be defending against Deonna Purrazzo, winner take all, maybe. So that's exciting. But I saw she had a WWE tryout as well. Yes. Is that a spoiler for the outcome of the Purrazzo Roxy match, maybe.
That's my thinking.
Mm. Okay, spoiler alert. Well, a bit late now. But yeah, I mean, who else is did George Iceman tease on coming in? Just other Ring of Honor names.
I don't think he said specific names, but more Ring of Honor stars could be making their way to Impact. I didn't see the episode. I haven't, because with it being a year review show or year end of year show, I didn't really watch it.
No.
I usually watch BTI when Impact's on coming up early in the morning, but I didn't watch it. But I mean, the only one who had really had more of a teaser was Speedball Matt Bailey, but we already knew about him.
Yeah, exactly. Is there any time frame, or is he the Veer Mahan of Impact Wrestling?
Oh, I hope not. I watched the video. They bleeped out the date he was coming.
Right.
I don't know if that's Impact being Impact or if it's just they just don't know when.
Mm.
But I'm not sure. But of course, as well as coming in, we also have Rohit and Matt Striker leaving. Thoughts on that?
It's a shame about Rohit. Hopefully he'll be back one day. It could be a simple case of contract expiring. He wants to go do something. He wants to go on holiday. I don't know. It's a shame if he doesn't intend to come back, but I'm sure he's got other things in the works, exciting new ventures for himself. So, I wish him all the best. It's a shame that he's leaving, but I'm sure he'll go on and do really cool stuff elsewhere. Striker, again, shame he's leaving, but I know he's got baseball commitments. So, yes. Yeah, hopefully he goes off and does really well in those other ventures. And who knows, maybe we'll grab a certain commentator from Ring of Honor. That would be nice.
Right, yeah, I know that's a lot of people want that, along with Vader Scott as a 3-person booth with D'Lo.
Okay. It would be good to add. I mean, we had Madison Rayne as a commentator in the pandemic, and I thought she did a great job. It would be cool to see another female back in the commentary booth. And I think that would be a really cool 3-person booth. Vader,
yes,
Ian Riccaboni. I think Ian Riccaboni is the best play-by-play guy on the scene at the moment. It'd be really cool to add him to the Impact Wrestling roster page.
Yeah, it's just an exciting time for Impact heading to Hard to Kill right now.
Yeah,
of course. When I saw the announcement of Jonathan Gresham coming in to face Chris Sabin, I nearly dropped my phone. I didn't expect it. I know I can't see Gresham signing anywhere until he knows completely what's going on in Ring of Honor. I can't see him going anywhere until Ring of Honor's future has been decided one way or the other. I can't see that happening.
I mean, he's obviously committed to that first show back. They've got to do some sort of title unification with him and Bandito at some point. Yeah. So, right. I think you're right on that front. He won't sign anywhere exclusively. Yeah,
it's not going to happen, especially as the Ring of Honor World Champion. He's going around defending the Ring of Honor World Championship, so clearly that title is going to be used at some point. He wants to... can't be defending on Ring of Honor TV right now, so he wants to be a fighting world champion, and he can go wherever he wants. It's a pretty good deal for him.
Yeah,
and especially with his own show Terminus coming up on the 16th, and that's gonna be a phenomenal show. We've got Jordan Grace versus Kara Hogan for the Digital Media Championship. Moose against I want to say it's Alex Colon, but I don't think it is.
What from
the
deathmatch guy?
Maybe it's Alex Coughlin. Coughlin. I can't say his name. But yeah, Moose on the show. Got Jay Lethal. Most other people. It's going to be a phenomenal show. Now for the Ring of Honor World Championship versus Josh Alexander in a pure rules match. I cannot wait to see that match. And it's only 14.49 on Fight TV, so
not bad.
You can't get a pretty deal. And just before we move on as well, as I mentioned, Tommy Dreamer, that's earlier, technically announced last year, but Tommy Dreamer is back in the fold at Impact Wrestling. It hasn't been announced whether he's going to be on TV. I don't think he will be for quite a while yet, but I imagine he's had a pretty heavy hand in this upcoming 10-man Hardcore Raw match.
Yeah, I would have thought he'll have some input in that. As far as Dreamer goes, I know when he was cancelled, it was before we were doing the podcast, so we never got a chance to really talk about it. Obviously, Dreamer said what he said on Dark Side of the Ring. He has apologized for it. He's not Ric Flair. He's not the one that, allegedly sexually harassed the woman on the plane. But what Dreamer said was out of order. He's apologized for it. I'm sure he has. He's got a wife and 2 twin girls. He needs to be accountable for saying things like that. Yeah. So hopefully he's learned his lesson. I'm sure he has. As I say, he has apologized. So, yeah, it's too soon to put him back on TV because there would be outrage on Twitter. But for him to be back behind the scenes, I don't have a problem.
No, it's Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Dreamer. Obviously, when he was in Impact, people were complaining a lot about him being on TV an awful lot. And with this extra thing added on top of that, it's not going to be a good mix if you put him on TV too soon. But like I said, if we said it when it first happened over on the TNIW, we said it that completely out of order what he said, but he has apologized, and people should be able to make a mistake, which he has. He's owned it, and if as long as he's learned from his lesson, bring him back. He still has bills to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
But as for Rohit and Striker, Rohit, it's a little bit more shocking because he had such a great run during the pandemic. Probably one of the best championship runs of the pandemic, in front of no crowd, that is. As a mid-card title. I'm not saying that term because the X Division title isn't really mid-card, but when he's up against like the IC title and stuff like that, it's around that level, but it's way more than that. But again, as for Striker, I like Matt Striker a lot. I thought he was entertaining on commentary. He's dropping a song lyric here and there, or like his emotion. I love seeing Matt Striker pop.
Yeah,
he did an awful, and he made it feel special. Like with the Moose and Josh moment, his emotion, like incredible. And Dino made that moment by saying "Damn you, Moose," but. Yeah. It was still.
They both did a great job during that match and that moment. They made a legendary moment iconic.
Yes, it struck out a lot to that. So now we'll move on to our sub-headline number 1. And it was announced earlier this week, around, I think, New Year's Eve, it was announced that Progress Wrestling over here in the UK have new owners. They are, excuse me if I'm butchering the name, but Lee McAteer and Martin Best, who are part of the ownership board at Tranmere Rovers Football Club. Okay. They've announced the new show, and they'll be coming back for the live crowd January 23rd at the Electric Ballroom in Camden, and it's called The Word Is Progress, which I believe they've already announced a pretty stellar card for that so far. We'll see Progress had a little bit of it went down a little bit after everything that happened before, around speaking out, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So new ownership, I think Jim Smallman's no longer part of the company. Yeah, I just want to get thoughts on that. New owners and owners who own a football club coming in to take over a wrestling company. Progress are probably top 3 UK promotions in terms of brand, and obviously they have the relationship with the WWE. And from what I saw, I think Jeff Jarrett may have some sort of involvement in it. I may have misread it, but I found out from Jarrett's Twitter page first that Progress Wrestling have new owners. So I want to get your thoughts on Progress in general and the new ownership on it.
Well, yeah, you're right. I think in terms of branding, Progress is the #1 wrestling company in the UK. It's either them or ICW. I know they were hot a couple of years ago, and you don't really hear much from them now. Yeah, there's got to be, numbers 1 and 2 right there. But new management for Progress, great. If they've got rid of the what's the term I want? I was going to say dead weight, but that's not correct. Doesn't matter. New management, as long as they're producing good shows with great wrestlers who are controversy free, then carry on doing what you're doing. And if they're able to keep that relationship with WWE, so they're putting stuff on the network, awesome, good for them. I've never wrestled for Progress. I've got friends that have. Got friends that wrestled, when they did the big show at Wembley. So I wish them all the best, and I hope the new management works out best for them. I think we're entering into an era where all the big wrestling companies are owned by people that own Premier League football clubs. Well, not Premier League, but British football clubs.
Yeah, that would be very interesting if more owners came in and bought wrestling companies.
Yeah,
but no, the more money being put into wrestling, the better. But I'm not overly familiar with Progress because they don't often come to the Midlands. They don't often come to. It's maybe Manchester, maybe 3 or 4 times out of the year. So it's kind of difficult for me to get to their shows. But of course, I know who they are. I believe I was nearly going to go to a Progress show when they announced a rematch between LAX Santana and Ortiz against Jody Fleisch and Johnny Storm. I was there for the first match of that at Impact versus the UK.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I was there for it. It's what a show. Maybe one day we'll do a watch along of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Johnny Storm, what a kid! I wrestled Johnny so many times. He's an interesting fella.
Yeah, off on a tangent a little bit, but I saw a few months ago that Johnny Storm was doing a show in the town I used to live. It was only 20, 30 minutes away from where I live now, but it was back at it was in my old high school, and I couldn't bring myself to go walk through those doors again, even if it was for wrestling.
Really?
I could not walk through those gates again.
A bit triggering for you.
I hated high school. I mean, high school, especially where it was awful. I saw it again off on a tangent again, but someone tweeted that high school reunions need to be a thing in the UK. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Never. No, it's. But back on to Progress. I mean, I'm not overly familiar with them. I know they have a working relationship with the WWE, which has led to people like Ricky Shane Page and Eddie Kingston being on the WWE network, which no one really thought would ever be possible.
Yeah.
But in cool moments, and I'm familiar with stuff they've done, particularly their Hello Wembley show, the Trent Seven and Doug Williams, I believe.
That's right.
Retirement match, yeah. Even I think Doug's retirement lasted about 2-3 years.
Less than that. We had him on WAW show about a month after.
Oh, there we go. Okay. wrestling retirements.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's cool for them having new owners. I'm happy they have new owners. They needed it. They needed a fresh boost, and particularly after all the controversy trying to progress. I'm glad they've found a fresh start, and hopefully they can continue with the success and giving a big platform to UK independent wrestlers. It can only be a good thing.
absolutely.
But now we move on to something I'm very looking forward to talking about. We have Impact Wrestling coming up this Thursday. It's Friday morning first in the UK, and we have Heath taking on Carl Anderson, which I believe Carl Anderson broke his nose in that match.
All right.
Well, Heath broke Carl Anderson's nose. We have a six knockout tag team match as Lady Frost, Chelsea Green, and Tasha Steelz take on Rosemary, Jordan Grace, and Rachel Ellering in a preview of the upcoming Ultimate X. Marsha Slamovich makes her in-ring debut as an official Impact contracted wrestler, and Deonna Purrazzo faces Mercedes Martinez, which has become extra interesting after the news that Mercedes Martinez is now all elite. So I want to get your thoughts on just Impact and on the upcoming show. Obviously, it's the go home show. What you're looking forward to, and what are your levels of excitement like for this go home show?
I mean, it's going to be a great preview of Hard to Kill because you've got the 6 women tag. You've got 3 fantastic women's matches announced for Impact, and there's 3 fantastic women's matches on Hard to Kill, which, I remember the days when WWE were doing pay-per-views with no women's matches or 1 female match, and now you've got 3 on a card that we both said before we started recording is the best card they've promoted in years.
Right.
So, good for Impact. I'm loving the female representation. And what was the other? Oh yeah, Mercedes and Deonna.
Yes.
That's going to be a hell of a match. And it's so cool to be able to promote Mercedes. I'm guessing 1 more time because she's signed for All Elite. Good for her. She'll do well there. They need more women, and they need to feature more women. They've got a great roster, but I'm going off on a tangent. We'll talk about AEW another time. We know Impact have the best women's roster and the best female representation in wrestling. So yeah, it's going to be a great episode of Impact. What was the other match? Oh yeah, Carl Anderson and Heath. I didn't know about Carl's nose. Is it like a Rich Holland situation? Did you see that on the kickoff to the WWE pay-per-view?
Yes. 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 It's a Carl Anderson thing. He announced it on the TNS TNS vlog. So a Talking Shop vlog. And said that in the final show, the final segment or final match of the shows for Impact on that taping, Keith broke his nose. So,
well, these things happen, unfortunately.
Went through the entire taping, nothing, and then final match. When the final minutes of the match, it's a broken nose. Wrestling, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree with everything you said. That it's go been tasered. The go home show, the go home show is important because people on the fence may decide to either purchase or not purchase the pay-per-view. And this, if I wasn't already going to buy the pay-per-view, this will make me do it. Just on paper, because Deonna Purrazzo and Mercedes Martinez is going to be phenomenal. Marsha Slamovich debuting, I'm looking forward to it because she had a great match against Deonna at Knockdown. The 6 knockout tag, again, I mean, great. I may not be the biggest Chelsea Green fan, but this is going to be a good match. And Heath versus Carl Anderson, I mean, Heath has completely got that WWE no push off him. He's no longer that Heath, which is good because we never really got to see this side of Heath in WWE ever. Maybe a little bit as part of the Nexus and the core, but nothing to this extent. Heath can go. And again, I don't want to jinx it, but he's following that trend of getting released, getting jacked, going to Impact. I don't want to come back to WWE because he could. I said when he first came in that Heath could be an X Division champion. I still believe that. Maybe with the right push and the right storyline matches, maybe even a world champion. I don't know, but certainly more than just a tag team guy.
I don't think we've seen enough of Heath yet in Impact. I know he signed last year, but he was out for a long time with that injury. I don't think he's quite got the ball rolling again yet. So Hard to Kill will be a good test for him. I want to see him featured more in singles matches, in tag matches with Rhino. I just need to see more of Heath before I can say, yeah, he's going to be a world champion or X Division champion, whatever. I'll never forget. We were at a Raw show in the O2, 2015, I think. And Heath wrestled a dark match against, it was a main event match, something like that, against Matt Cardona. And had a great match. Just a very simple, formulaic match just to warm the crowd up. It was fantastic. And that just goes to show how talented Cardona and Heath are. So yeah, I would need to see more of that Heath in Impact.
That's fair. I just thought, particularly his match against Moose in the beginning, I thought he did a phenomenal job. And with the right momentum, I could see him as an X Division champion. But now, like I say, it definitely needs to be, needs to keep up with the momentum, keep it going, make it stronger, make it faster, and then who knows?
Yeah.
But now we move on to Hard to Kill, which again I'll run through the card, but a very extremely good card. And I went to get the card offline to write it all down and stuff. And I saw on the Knockouts Ultimate X match, it was listed as the main event.
Really?
Now I don't know how reliable that site was, but it was listed as the main event. And like Moose and Cardona put as number 3 on the card. Moose, Cardona, and Morrissey. But again, it could be just someone just taking for a ride. But the card as it stands, which can't see anything else being added to it, but we go with the Knockouts Ultimate X match. Rachel Ellering, Lady Frost, Jordan Grace, Tasha Steelz, and Chelsea Green and Rosemary. Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickie James for the Knockouts World Championship in a Texas death match.
That should be the main event.
Oh.
That should be. I mean, I can't see a situation where that isn't the main event, honestly. There's a Texas death match for the Knockouts World Championship. It's the legendary Mickie James. It's the what's the word I want? She's transcended the Knockouts division. Deonna Purrazzo. She's the longest reigning champion, the best champion we've ever had. How can it not be the main event?
I agree. I mean, the rest of the card is going to be same. We have the Impact World Championship as well. Moose versus Matt Cardona versus W. Morrissey. Josh Alexander faces Jonah. The Good Brothers and Violent by Design take on Rhino, Eddie Edwards, Heath, Rich Swann, Willie Mack in a 10-man hardcore war. The Inspiration defend the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships against the Influence. Trey McGowan defends the X Division Championship against Steve Macklin. And Jonathan Gresham defends the Ring of Honor World Championship against Chris Sabin. I mean, that obviously any of those matches could be the main event. They're that good. I mean, maybe not the 10-man hardcore war, but that could definitely be on a co-main event level for sure.
If this was the Hardcore Justice Impact Plus special, that could easily be a main event. Any of those matches could be the main event of any pay-per-view anywhere across the country. It's going to be such an incredible event. But I stand by it. Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James should be the main event, and I think the Ultimate X match should start the show because it's nearly as important as the main event, the opener of the show. I always love going on first because you're able to set the tone for the rest of the show. It's such an important position to be in. And as Kevin Owens said on one of the WWE 24 documentaries, if you're not on last, you want to be on first.
Yeah,
considering it's the first ever Knockouts Ultimate X match, it should go on first.
Yeah, I can understand that mentality, because if you're on first, you set the bar. You say follow that.
Yes.
For the main event, then your responsibility to send the people home happy.
Yeah.
So I can understand that mentality, and I completely agree. The Knockouts Ultimate X has to start. The Ultimate X at Summerversary opened, and from then on, that match set the bar so high, but every match followed it, and it's the same with every Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Whatever starts always sets the bar high, and the rest seem to follow. Maybe one or two matches that drop a little bit, but it's never drastic to the point where, oh, that was the worst match on the card. It's always difficult to decide the least favorite match and a favorite match because they are usually all so good. I mean, especially this card. I in the Moose Cardona Marcy main event, I kind of want Cardona to win, but he's not going to. I really want Cardona to win, but it's just not going to happen. Especially if Chelsea Green wins the Knockouts Ultimate X, I just can't see it happening.
Yeah, you've been very vocal about your support of Matt Cardona, and I certainly wouldn't be offended if he did go on and win. It would be great, but it's still too early to take the belt off Moose. Yeah,
and when it does happen, it has to be Josh. At this stage, it has to be Josh Alexander who beats Moose for the World Championship.
Also, I mean, I'm going to make a controversial point here. With the whole Tony Khan, Big Swole stuff, I mean, the lads talked about it on the TNA IW on the mothership. And then Brock Lesnar, white man, wins WWE Championship off Big E. Yeah. We can't be following suit here. Moose has to retain. I'm sorry, not just because of that.
No, it's that whole thing. I mean, I always knew Tony Khan was a bit of a knobhead anyway, but he's kind of just proven it a bit more now. But it's I do kind of agree. We definitely don't want to follow suit because that will make people think, oh, Impact are just as bad as every other company who does that type of stuff, and they're not. Impact. I don't be this. I don't come across as a dick, but Impact have the most equality in any promotion. Everyone is exactly the same at the same time, and if you deserve it, you get a push. It doesn't matter what you look like. If you deserve it, you get the push. And Matt Cardona has been one of the highest. Is the best wrestler on the independent scene right now. He said it himself. This year has been his best year in wrestling. And he's won the IC title. He's won the US title. Yeah, he's had. That's probably all he has done. But and the IC title run, at least said about that the better.
Well, second. Not just that, he won these championships at WrestleMania.
Exactly. It's and even Morrissey, he's had a great year. And when Impact first announced they're bringing W. Morrissey in, I mean, there was mixed reactions, but Impact gave him a chance. They pushed him, and he proved to everyone that he's probably one of the best big men in wrestling. Impact in general have the best big men in wrestling. You can have your Brock Lesnar and your Bobby Lashley's, but Impact have big men who do more than that. Do more just big meaty men slapping meat.
Yeah.
They have a lot more than that. And Moose and Morrissey are probably two of the best right now. And the fact that
I mean, Morrissey's stuff in Impact has totally, left his work in WWE, in the dust. His stuff has been fantastic, and I never thought I would say that. When Big Cass left WWE, I thought, if he comes into Impact, I'm not interested. But he's been tremendous. That match he had, the three-way with Eddie and Cardona.
Yeah,
tremendous.
Yeah, I completely agree. And when you especially with when Suzuki came in, Suzuki, he can pick and choose who he wants to work with. Impact can offer them someone to work with. Impact put him in that position to main event in a match teaming with Suzuki. Yeah, teaming with as well, but for essentially a rookie in Impact, to be given that, you got main event Impact and you team with Suzuki, I believe his first match in Impact. That's a big deal, and because he's proven that he can be that guy. I mean, during that match against Eddie and Cardona, Eddie Edwards was clearly the biggest face in that match, but towards the end, Morrissey was getting a chance.
Yeah,
he turned the crowd to start cheering for him. I'm not sure how he felt about that, because he's supposed to be the bad guy, but it was great. And like I said, it's completely left Big Cass in the dust. It's W Morrissey. I mean, I wish they dropped the W, but even today I wish they dropped the W part. But Big Cass, like Big Cass who?
Yeah.
Because Enzo and Cass, even though they were great, Enzo was clearly the mouthpiece and got the biggest spotlight.
Yeah.
Also, they tried to do the whole heel thing with him in WWE, with Morrissey in WWE. Didn't work because partly he was in a bad place, but also they rushed it.
Yeah.
But it's this card, man. I mean, the X Division Championship. What your thoughts go into that? It's Macklin involved again, but it's a singles match this time. How are you feeling on that?
Well, I mean, I made this point on the last episode, I think. I can see Steve Macklin being a world champion in 2 years. When Steve Cutler was released from WWE and they started showing vignettes for him in Impact, I thought, why do we need this guy? So, I mean, it's the same as W. Morrissey. He's totally changed my opinion on him. He's come in and done fantastic stuff, especially with Trey Miguel. That three-way at Bound for Glory stole the show.
Yeah.
It was, I'd say it was on par with Mickey and Diana from that show. Wow. I think it's time for Macklin to win the title, because that's how this story has advanced. Trey couldn't pin him. He was winning the matches, Trey was, but he wasn't pinning Steve Macklin. So I think the story needs to be Macklin wins the title and Trey goes on a what's the word? Like a vengeance story.
Oh yeah.
I've lost the word. It happens. Getting dropped on your head too many times in the ring. Retribution.
Yeah, like the
story for Macklin, for Trey.
The hero go after the villain, try and get back what he wants his.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And then, when Trey wins the title back, and it has to be clean, you don't damage Macklin too much, because it has been a long running story, and then Macklin's free to advance up the card towards the world title.
Yeah,
that's how it's going.
I agree. It's the way this has gone. Macklin has to win this.
Yeah.
The stuff he's pulled. I mean, kidnapping Trey. That was like you can't not win now. You pulled that much of a power move. You kind of have to back it up and win. And with the Extreme Championship in the beginning of the year, kind of for me anyway, had some of the shine taken off of it, because it was hot shotted quite around quite. Was it 2 years ago? It might have been 2 years ago. I honestly can't remember now. It has been 2 years now. Yeah, see, it's dates no good. Of the going from Mac to Bay to Rohit to whoever else, TJP, and then Josh went on a phenomenal run as X Division champion, and it sort of felt like it was going towards a unification match against Kenny Omega. It didn't happen, so the only logical step was for Josh to drop it and go after the World Championship. Trey picked it up again. I can't fault Trey. His run right now, it's been great stuff. Rocky Romero, he had a great match with him. And I love Rocky Romero. He's phenomenal. And again, yeah, it's Laredo Kid and Macklin, or ELP, whoever. Trey's had a good run. He's had some good matches. When you have wrestlers of that caliber, like ELP, like Macklin, like Trey, and Laredo Kid, you're gonna have good matches. No matter what combination you use, it's gonna be good matches. So I'm cool with it. I agree. It has to be Macklin's turn, because it just kind of has to be. And Trey dropping it now. Trey needs a little emotion. Like, he needs to get that anger in him.
That's when he's at his best. When he's passionate.
Completely. He needs that fuel to have that passion, go on a tear, and just have great matches on his way to reclaim the X Division Championship. Hard to Kill is going to be incredible, and of course they have some sponsors coming in as well, which is even better.
Some film called Freefall.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's the plotline's kind of it looks like a good film, but the plotline's kind of I believe it's about a woman who tries to commit suicide and then has to deal with her overbearing husband. That was the tagline I saw.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks like a good film. I don't think there's anyone well known to the UK side. Maybe more the States. I don't know, but it's cool either way. Especially Impact having sponsorships right now is awesome. Pabst Blue Ribbon, or that meal company. I forget their name. I should have written it down.
Well, it doesn't affect us, does it? We won't be able to use it.
No, but it's cool that they have sponsorships, especially the dropping ratings and stuff like that. It's good that they're getting some financial boosts here and there. It's cool for them, and I didn't really like when Impact had all the sponsors on the ring mat. During TNA, I've lost track of who who half of them were now.
Yeah, they had Mortal Kombat, Jackass 2, some energy drink company that again we didn't have over here. Stacker, was that it?
I think so. I forget to check. And of course the several country singers they had on the ring apron. Like Gretchen Wilson, I think was one of them.
Yeah.
And, there are a few others. I think I believe Fozzy had was there on the ring apron, or did they just do the theme for Bound for Glory? Did they have an apron?
Yeah, I can't remember.
But I watched that footage recently, and you can barely tell it's Chris Jericho because it's so fuzzy. It's ridiculously fuzzy.
Right.
Fuzzy for Fozzy. Yeah, it's it's cool. They Impact. The fact that companies are now seeing them as a reliable source to sponsor. Again, I want to get your thoughts. We covered it pretty well, but Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Sabin for the Ring of Honor World Championship. I covered it a little bit in the start, but I mean, what's your excitement levels for this match?
They're high because it's obviously going to be a hell of a match, but there's no way Gresham loses. So it's a very predictable outcome, which kind of takes me out of it a little bit. But, the in-ring action is going to be stellar. So, as I say, I think it's going to be the best match on the show. It might be a massive surprise and Sabin takes the title and then goes and defends it everywhere, but I just can't see that happening.
Nah, I think it's like I said, Gresham is very much still a part of Ring of Honor, even though the company's in a bit of disarray at the minute. No one really knows what's going on inside the company, but Gresham, until he's told that ROH is no longer a thing, he's going to defend that title. He'll keep that title because ROH have plans for him. That much is clear.
Yeah.
Even though, obviously, I said before, I'm not overly familiar with Ring of Honor. Of course, I know who they are. I know their history. I know, I know their story, but I didn't really watch it. But again, I know that Bryan Danielson came through there, Tyler Black, of course, Seth Rollins and Nigel McGuinness, so many more. Samoa Joe, he came from there and went on a undefeated run Impact. Great stuff. I'm cool with that. Even Chris Sabin, I know that he's a former Ring of Honor World Champion and Tag Team Champion and everything else. But I don't see Gresham losing, even though I'm a huge Chris Sabin fan. Always have been. Even though, again, I only became familiar with him around 2012 when he came back from his second ACL injury.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah. But the fact he is back and is still one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Chris Sabin is one of the most underrated wrestlers in wrestling in the world. He doesn't get nearly enough love as he should be getting for his just natural ability. Chris Sabin is super Chris Sabin.
He's tremendous. When the Motor City Machine Guns came back at Slammiversary last year, I thought to myself, well, Sabin don't look as good as he used to. Alex Shelley's carrying the team and all this. And then when Shelley left, which I'm bitter about, I'll be honest, because he was saying how he's got to commit to his actual job, and now he's flying the flag for MLW. I'm sure there's a situation there, but it didn't really sit right with me. Anyway, Sabin, when he went on the singles run, he was having the best match on every show. I couldn't believe how good Chris Sabin still is. And he's been with the company since 2003. Obviously on and off, but he's one of the longest serving people there. And the fact that he's still as good as he was back in 2003 is just, he's a marvel as far as I'm concerned.
No, I can completely agree with all of that. Again, we've talked about on the main show a couple times I've been on there. But it seems like fans in the States, their favorite of Machine Guns is Alex Shelley. Like in North America and over here, it seems to be Chris Sabin. Because I think it's mainly because obviously TNA, they forget words out. TNA landed over here, but they weren't as big until they hit 2012, which is when Chris Sabin was around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have been a part of it. But this card is going to be insane, and I think we're coming to it's nearly close to the final 10. and now it's the final 10. Let's go into our hard to kill predictions. I'll go match by match, and give your prediction, I'll give mine, and we'll go from there. So we'll start off. Knockouts Ultimate X, which were Ella Rain, Lady Frost, Jordan Grace, Tasha Steelz, Chelsea Green, and Rosemary. Who's your winner?
Tasha Steelz.
Interesting.
Yes. I've been thinking about this a lot. I can't see Jordan Grace winning purely because she's the digital media champion. She doesn't need the win at the moment. I'm thinking they teased tension between Jordan and Rachel during the match. Rosemary, she doesn't need it. Honestly, Decay are so over. She doesn't need a championship. Lady Frost has just come in. I'm sure they've got plans for her further down the line, but right now, I just can't see her winning this high profile of a match. And Chelsea, she could win it, to be fair, but I'm going with Tasha. After her performance in Knockouts Knockdown, those 3 great matches she had in one night. Yeah, I think it's Tasha's night.
So I've looked at these wrestlers so many times, and I just can't pick one. But if I have to pick one, I'm kind of going with Lady Frost. I think come in, make an impact. Tasha, again, Tasha is a very, very close second and probably will win. But I think Lady Frost is a unique shout and something that might surprise a few people. But who knows? I mean, Lady Frost is the only one, even though it was official, has competed in a Ultimate X style thing.
Okay.
Lady Frost on the Independent had a tag team match with her husband, the Savage Gent. They had it was like a metal bar going across the ring, corner to corner, and it's on their Twitter page. But sorry, maybe that come to experience. Who knows?
Just to go off the tangent, Craig, have you seen the match that inspired the Ultimate X? It was an IWA Mid-South match, CM Punk versus Chris Hero. Oh. And they were doing this match, and their goal was to basically tear the building down, because it was their last time in the building before it got knocked down. Nice. And they hung the championship from this girder, which went across the ring, and they broke all the ladders. So they had to climb this beam to try and get to the championship, and they were fighting on it. And yeah, from what I understand, that is the match that inspired Ultimate X.
I never knew that.
Nice fun little sojourn into my weird wrestling memory.
I have nearly seen an Ultimate X live in person, not of Impact though. The local promotion called Pro Wrestling Live, and they had an Ultimate X match. They also own Impact turnbuckles, proper Impact turnbuckles. I've seen them on their ring. Maybe I don't know how they got them, but it was interesting because it was ropes. It wasn't cables. It was ropes.
Yeah,
which I don't think worked very well for them.
That's what the first Ultimate X was, wasn't it? It was ring ropes.
Yeah, it was maybe because I think Michael Shane won the very first.
Yeah. Against Kazarian and Chris Sabin, funnily enough.
Yes. Well, the second matchup we have Dion Peraza versus Mickie James for the Knockouts World Championship in Texas Death Match. Who's your winner for that?
This one's hard. It could go either way, but I'm going to say Deonna. I'm writing these predictions down, by the way, Craig, and the loser buys the beers.
Okay. I'm going Deonna too.
Okay.
I think Mickie. I think it's more of Mickey's had her run. She proves that she can still do it. But if they're looking for someone who's going to stick around and really go for it and have especially with this when it take all match against Roxy coming up. You know, the Reign of the Reigness Championship is great. Yeah, it's got a lot of history. I understand that. But if you want an Impact, you kind of want to be in for the Knockouts title as well.
Absolutely.
You want that title involved in it as well.
The only way I can see Mickey winning is if they do Diana versus Roxy, and Roxy takes the Ring of Honor Championship, and she has the AAA Reina de Reinas, and then they do winner take all, the third match with Mickey and Diana, maybe in a cage or something.
Yeah, who knows? This time for the Impact World Championship, Moose versus Matt Cardona versus W. Morrissey. I think we're both good on this one.
Yep, Moose.
There we go. Josh Alexander versus Jonah. Who have you got on that one?
Oh, this one is again, it's difficult because Josh is in a rebuilding phase, so he needs to win matches. But this is Jonah's first big match in Impact. I can't see him losing. I'm going to have to predict a no contest, some sort of double DQ or something, and it would piss people off. But I mean, it keeps both men strong, and they can come back with another match where you get a definitive winner.
Yeah, maybe I don't. It's so frustrating because I can see both winning, and both of them kind of need this win. I mean, Josh a little bit less than Jonah. Jonah, I feel like, has some more to prove. Josh, you know, he's over with the Impact crowd, but a loss in his first big match could send it in a downward direction. I'm gonna go Jonah on this one. I think.
Okay.
It's saying
tough, isn't it? This one's difficult.
It's very tough because Jonah, we don't know if he's sticking around after Hard to Kill, and do you really have him losing to the guy trying to make the world champion? I'll stick with Jonah. I'll say Jonah. I think. Yeah, before changing my mind, I'll stick with Jonah.
They're going to have a few matches, aren't they? They're not going to have just one match, and then Josh can get his win back, I guess. Yeah, that would make sense.
Hopefully, because Jonah's a great guy. In a 10-man hardcore war, we have the Goat Brothers and Violent by Design versus Rhino, Eddie Edwards, Heath, Rich Swann, and Willie Mack. Who have you got on that?
I'm going to go with the babyface team. I think there'll be some sort of incident where something goes wrong between Violent by Design and the Good Brothers, leading to them having a title match, tag team title match down the line. I'll see the baby faces taking advantage of that and winning the match.
Yeah, I think I agree based on the fact that VBD won at the last show.
They did, yes.
So I think it's, especially with Eddie on the team. Eddie, I think it will be, I guess it's Team Rhino and Team Heath. I guess that's who their main feud is with.
Yeah, Team Heath and Rhino.
All right. So now the Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. The Inspiration versus the Influence. I wonder if in this match the losers have to lose an eye and the winners get an extra eye.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're going to do this.
In that case, if that's the stipulation, I'm going with the Inspiration.
Okay. I have to agree because I just love the Inspiration. Like, I probably might lose, but no, I think they're gonna break the record. They'll break EY and ODB's record, and it's the Inspiration.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, the fact that a man has the record for the longest women's tag team championship reign it was dark times, but yeah, that needs to be broken, and the inspiration of the perfect team to do that.
Yes. And now it's time for the X Division Championship. Trey McGowan versus Steve Macklin. Again, I think we both agreed that it's Macklin.
Yeah, we've already gone into it. Macklin takes the belt, and Trey wins it back further down the line, like 6 months down the line.
Yeah. And we both agree on Jonathan Gresham versus Chris Sabin, correct? That's Gresham winning.
Absolutely. Gresham all day long.
Okay. So that is that for another week. You have our Hard to Kill predictions. You've heard our thoughts on RH and everything else coming in and out. We've even thrown in some Brit Wrestling for you on what I thought would be a highly impact-based show. But yeah, that's it for episode 4. You can don't forget you can catch us here, there, and everywhere. We have a new Facebook page, Talking Bloody Nonsense. You can come in and like it, interact with us here, there, everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and wherever else you podcast. I've been the MIC. He's been Nixon, and will continue to be Nixon. Until next time, goodbye, my friends.
Take care, guys.